guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. Today we're going to be doing a tag, and the tag I'm going to be doing is the book recommendations tag. This is created by Zariah over at Zariah Rose. If you're not already subscribed to her channel, I will link it down below. Make sure you go check her out and subscribe. She's just the sweetest thing, and she puts out some really great content. I'm sure everyone of you will enjoy her. So this tag is really short and sweet. It's only 4 questions, so we're just going to jump right into it. And the first question is, what is the best book that you read last month? So in the month of January, the best book that I read was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. This is book 6 in the series, and if you guys don't know already, I'm reading through this series for the first time in my life, and I adored this book. It broke my heart, but I loved it so much, so I will definitely recommend it if you guys haven't already read it. I did read some great things in the month of January, but this is the only 5-star book, so I decided to choose this one. The second question is to recommend an old favorite, and for this I chose 2 things. The first of which is Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. I adore Sophie Kinsella, and I started reading this my freshman year of college, or I started reading her my freshman year of college, and I adore her. I continue to read her books even now. It's just quirky and fun, and I'm sure everyone knows about this book. There's a movie, which is actually pretty cute. I don't know how many books are in this series, but I am currently collecting them. I'm not even sure if I've finished that series, to be honest. There's so many of them, but it follows Becky Bloomwood, and she lives in London, and she's a shopaholic. She has a spending problem, and it's just, there's a cute little love in here, love interest, and it's just a cute little fluffy read. And if you guys haven't read any Sophie Kinsella, I definitely highly recommend you pick this one up, because it's good. The second book that I want to recommend to you guys, which I've been kind of talking about a little bit lately on my channel, is The Coldest Girl in Cold Town. This is by Holly Black, and it's a paranormal romance about vampires, and I loved this book. There's such a cute little romance in there. It's pretty action-packed, and yeah, I just highly recommend it. It's really, really good. I think this book is polarizing though, because I feel like you either love it or hate it, and I feel like a lot of people really don't like it, but I don't care because I love it. It's just great. I read it a couple years ago. I would like to reread it now because my reading tastes have changed, but I'm scared because I like it so much. I'm afraid if I reread it, I'm not going to like it as much. So, I don't know. Question 3 is to recommend a nonfiction, and I don't read a ton of nonfiction. One that I read in 2017 that really stuck with me is called The Morning They Came From Us, Dispatches from Syria. This is by Janine DiGiovanni. She is a war news correspondent, and basically she goes to Syria and she spends a vast amount of time in Syria. She interviews a bunch of people. She's right in there in the thick of the Syrian war, like right when it starts, and you just get different perspectives of people and what they've went through and what they're continuing to go through there, and it's just very eye-opening. I picked it up because there was a lot going on with like the Syrian refugees and us not allowing them to come to the United States, and I just wanted to know what it was that they were running from and what they've been going through, and I just needed to enlighten myself. So that's why I read it, and it was a tearjerker, an eye-opener, and I highly, highly recommend it if you're interested in that subject matter, because you won't be disappointed. Okay, and then the last question is to recommend a book that will help people escape, and I feel like any book can help you escape. It just depends on what kind of mood you're in. So I did pick 2 books from my shelf that I don't really talk about on here, that I adore, and that I feel like anyone, if they read them, they would be able to escape. The first one that I want to talk about is On Dublin Street by Samantha Young. I read this a couple of years ago. It's just a contemporary romance. It follows Jocelyn and Braden, and they're in Ireland. And Jocelyn's not looking for anything. She just wants to be single, and then she meets Braden and things ensue, and it's just a cutesy little romance. And there's a bunch of novels in this companion series, but I don't know if these characters come back, and I wish they did because I just adore them, and I really, really enjoyed this book, and I highly recommend it. I feel like you can get lost in it, and who doesn't get lost in like a contemporary romance? So highly recommend. And then the second book that I want to talk about is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. I love this series. I've been reading these since high school. I actually started reading them in high school, and I haven't read them in many, many years. I would like to pick them back up and reread them. But it is action-packed and gripping and suspenseful, and you just fly through it. Like, you could sit down and probably read this in one sitting, and it's a huge book. Like, you just get so immersed in the story and want to know what's going to happen next. And yeah, it's just really, really good, and if you haven't picked it up, I highly recommend it. It's a good series, and I feel like maybe the 5th book in the series just came out. I don't know, I got it for Christmas, but like I said, I haven't read these in a really long time, so I feel like I need to start over. Maybe I'll do this for a Throwback Thursday or something, but really, really good, and definitely you can escape. Like I said, it's super like action-packed and suspenseful, and the story just like, it's very fast-paced. So yeah, so those are my recommendations for this tag. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books, what you think about them. If you can recommend any books to me that you think that I should read, down in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Goodreads, Instagram, and Twitter, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.